Court Reporter with Stovall and Associates.
Welcome back to Court Reporter with Stovall and Associates. I'm Mike Aglinski. Tonight's guest, Donna Cox, running for Nye County Commissioner, District 3, the new redistricted area. We were talking about ballot question 2 and incorporation and kind of how the town versus the county commission, which has been an issue for some time, you know, how money is spent and is it done in a proper manner. But I'd like to touch more on question 2. What exactly does question 2 address?
Okay, well, question 2 was brought about because I got very frustrated. I've been going to the town board meetings for years now and trying to talk some common sense into them, and each board seems to get worse. So this last board has been really horrendous, and they basically phased out the people's. There used to be about 60 or 70 people. We used to have a big crowd at these meetings every Tuesday, and people would get up and have their say and everything. And then this last board came along, and they didn't want to hear it. They're saying, oh, we're having our opinion out there is bad for the community, right? We're running off people, and we're running off jobs and things. But they're not bringing us anything that has any common sense in it. I mean, none of these things fit. You know, like just Joshua's community, for instance, 30,000 people on the hill that are farming and taking care of themselves because they're all street people. Okay, so that goes back to the money issue. So they're working under the Robert's Rules of Order. They adopted that a couple of years ago, and we had all these people coming, and so that gave us a right to speak, because under the state law, regardless of what they tell you, under the state law, we didn't really have a right to speak at these meetings.
Right. And
they'll tell you, oh, we had a right to speak, so what they did was take away our right to speak. No, we never had a right to speak, but I didn't tell them that because I figured they would. So this last legislative turnaround, though, the people got together and they got a right to speak. So that right came in as to either follow Robert's Rules of Order and allow the people to speak after each item,
right.
After the item is produced, but not finalized.
Right.
So, or just let them speak at the beginning of the meeting or at the end of the meeting.
Right.
So we went and tried to express our opinion about that, and they didn't care. It was an experiment, and I told them, I said, well, I hope you know your experiment's not working, and you need to go back to giving people the right to speak after each item, because 3 minutes before, and you want to speak on 4 items, you can't get it in, and
right.
afterwards
You're talking
it's a waste
about having true dialogue.
Yeah, so coming to the meeting was an absolute waste of time, because you don't know what's going to happen during that. So they decided, Vicki and Harley and Tom Waters were on the board, and you know, Carolyn Enserby left because of their attitude. She said they were all committing a coup and she wasn't having any more to do with it, so she left and has not been replaced yet. So I told them, fine, you want to take away our voice? That's great, because then I'm going to take away your voice and I'm going to take away your money, because that's what this is all about, and you're not letting us voice our opinion on where this money is spent. So we just kind of gave up, and we produced question number 2 to go on the ballot. At that time, it was just a question that stated, do you want to have a town board or a town advisory board? And so Mr. Coonsey, the DA, well, we wanted to put it on as a referendum. He claimed that although we had enough signatures for a referendum, that it wasn't a referendum. He felt that it was an initiative. So we said, fine, there's other ways to skin a cat. So we managed to get it on. This is all done through CCSC and our other committee, referendum 2012. We actually had 5 questions out there, but we did get this one on the ballot through the county commission. And so people will get to vote, and we're hoping everybody votes yes on this, because it's like a last-ditch effort to save Pahrump. What that will do is it will take the power away from the town board to spend money. Now, Tom Waters is saying it's not in the best interest of the community, but it is in the best interest. You know, he keeps stating that they only do the cemetery, the swimming pool, the fire department, and one other issue. The problem is that's not true. They have control of the budget, they have control of the business license, they have control of your taxes and the tax cap. They can raise the taxes every year up to the tax cap. If the state keeps going up, they can keep going up. And they don't have to do that. They did it last year and this year, and they don't have to do that. You know, they have control of the community center. But they also have control of the room tax, which is what they're wasting. That's what a lot of what they're spending on Harley World right now on the study. And the business license, the ambulance service is in terrible shape, and they'll admit that themselves. They're losing money like crazy. So all that, everything would revert to being under the county, and what would happen is the town board will still be there. They can still be elected town board if they want to, or they can be appointed by the county commissioners. They can still make their votes, and then they bring that forward to the county commissioners for a second opinion, basically. It's the same as when the tourism committee has to come in front of the town board and ask for permission to spend this money. So they would have to come in front of the county commission and ask to spend the money.
So, to play devil's advocate, you know, the viewer today could be looking to say, well, Donna Cox is running for county commissioner. She's got an initiative through CCSC to essentially dissolve the powers or the spending powers of the town board. Is she only lining her pockets with more power? Truthfully, I mean, that's a fair question.
No, the town will still have power, but they won't have power. How should I say that? You see, they don't get paid for their position. So they don't care.
It is a voluntary position.
It's a voluntary position. They don't get paid. They don't care. So all they want to do is get their items taken care of. Now, this is a job that they have where they make no money, but they are fighting like crazy, even suing the county to try to get this pulled off the off the ballot or whatever, to keep us from being able to have our right to vote. That's the same thing they did with taking away our right to have freedom of speech. I am a very constitutionalized person. I have always made my decisions based on the Constitution, and I believe very highly in gun rights. You know, freedom of religion, freedom of guns, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, and so when it comes to it going in front of the county commissioner, we get paid. We get paid to do this.
Right.
There are none of us that are going to jeopardize our position, that to lose our wages, to lose our benefits, to lose our insurance by not listening to the people and taking a chance on getting voted out the next time.
So your feeling is because there's compensation, the voting constituency is better represented?
Yes, because we derive something from it and we owe something back. And therefore, we're in there to take care of the people. We're not in there because we're power hungry. As far as the compensation goes, I don't believe that anybody on the town board, if you take their power away from them to control the money, will even want to run for the town board position, because that's the only reason they're there.
Fair point. Being that we're so close to the election and we're out of time, is there a way that anybody can reach you if they've got questions?
Yes, by telephone or by my email. My telephone number is 775-209-4751. And my email is Cox, Donna, C as in cat, Christine, at msn.com. No periods.
Thank you so much for being on tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching. We'll be back next week. Happy Halloween to everybody, and go out and vote.
Yes.
See you next week.
Court Reporter with Stovall and Associates.